Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl 𝐿𝐄, and if you're coming across my video for the first time, I make reaction videos. So go ahead, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell so you continue seeing more videos from me. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. So today we'll be delving into Finland's dark past. Everyone has a past, right? And Finland is not an exception. So you guys, let's check this video out. It's titled Witch Execution Trials in Finland. So you guys, let's check it out.
Back in the 15th, 16th, and even 17th century, people loved a good witch hunt. Oh, they loved it. It brought communities together. Get your pitchfork, get any sort of tools, pretty much, whatever you can find. Get a mob together and let's go down the end of the village and let's break into her house and let's accuse her of being a witch. People loved it. They loved it.
Just like that, without the person doing anything, they just accuse the person of being a witch and then they march to the person's house. Is that it? Wow, that's weird. That's horrible.
They really did. And most of these people that were accused, all over the world, like in America, in Europe, wherever, were pretty much all women. It was always, when we associate a witch, we automatically think woman, female. But Finland was a bit different because most of the people that were accused were actually men.
Really?
So there you go. Talking about being an open country even back then.
Wow, Finland always stands out. You mean most of the people that were accused of being witches were male? This is the first time I'm hearing this because most time it's always women. When we hear of witch, our minds go to women. So I'm surprised. Wow, Finland, they never cease to amaze me.
Everybody could be a witch. Anybody, it doesn't matter who you are.
Of course,
you could be male, you could be
anybody can
female.
be a witch.
Who cares?
You don't have to target
Everyone is a suspect. So today, obviously like the title is called, I'm going to talk about the witch trials that took place here in Finland. But first, before I do get into that, I do have to talk about these men. Okay? Now, there's a name for them in Finnish, and they are called the 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄. Hope I pronounced that right. Now, if you translate that, it can be seer, it can be wise man, or literally like a knower of things.
Okay.
Okay? So we need to talk about these wise men, these cunning folk, these 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 first, before we talk about the witch trials. Before I do get into today's video, if you would like to help me make more videos, you can, and it's pretty simple. Just buy me a coffee. The link is in the description of this video. Now guys, I would love to know your opinion about these cunning folk, because what I'm about to read out to you sounds to me like a person that I would love to know. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the activities of a cunning folk person were primarily healing and preventing illness, but also included helping with farming, fishing and hunting. That's so handy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, imagine you're going out on a hunt and you're like, we need another person. Oh, don't worry, I know one of those cunning folk men. What's up, are you around? Happy days. Now they also brought success to ventures such as journeys or building. So kind of like a good luck charm, you could say. But then they'll also help you. Happy days. Alright. They also supported approved marriages as well. And many cunning folk knew 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 poems. Okay, the 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐿𝐄 is obviously the Bible of mythology in Finland. That's technically what it is, okay? So they knew these poems as well as mythical stories, spells and healing charms. So they were storytellers. They were just an all-round kind of person who brought entertainment. They helped you when you need them. I mean, this sounds like a person who is like, it's like a maintenance man. You ring a maintenance man, oh, my tap is after, gone. Yeah, don't worry, I'll be there in a few minutes. Great, happy days. Fantastic. Alright? Like, I mean, it's so funny, like, when you, obviously with the introduction of Christianity, priests and all that, they wanted to be the center of attention. So it was so funny that even like, it's like, no, no, no. Those people know too much. They do too much for communities. Get rid of them. Let's burn them. Now, although these cunning folk were pretty nice people, as it sounds, they helped you with everything. They helped you if you need them. But their secrets and what they knew was very, very closely guarded. Okay? The cunning folk, sorcerers and healers were seen as protectors of a kind of a cosmic equilibrium. Different kinds of beings had their own place in the universe, and if beings found themselves out of place, problems arose. The healer's role was often to return the beings to the right place. A sage generally knew the different requirements for different spells. Okay? In which often one needed to do rituals and recite spells. So they knew for the moment that they find themselves in, it kind of sounds like they knew exactly what to do. Alright? Often also use magical substances or magic items. So they had tools, like a maintenance man.
Yeah.
Now, did the Tiat have did they have like a Jesus Christ figure? Did they have like a God figure? Did they have like the main honcho, basically? And they actually did. And his name was Wainamoinen. He is like the mythical, he's like the mythical.
I've really delved into Kalevala stories that I now know the picture of Wainamoinen. So the moment this picture popped up, I just knew he was the one. I'm proud of myself.
Founder of the institution. Alright? Now, if you don't know who Wainamoinen is, he's pretty much the main dude in the Kalevala. Which, like I said before, is basically the book of Finnish mythology. Okay? He's the main dude. He's top of the table, I would admit. Anyway, yeah, I think he is. And he is like for anybody who was a cunning folk, Wainamoinen was the person that they wanted to be.
Like a model.
He's the identity. He's the model.
Exactly.
Of what a cunning folk person should be. Okay, that was the cunning folk. Alright? We got that out of the way. Now let's get on to these Finnish witch trials. Because as you can tell, and as you can possibly kind of, make a judgment on yourself, Christianity wouldn't be too happy about these people. Priests in villages would be like, here, listen. You go away. Get out of here. So obviously this goes now into the witch trials. So in contrast to most other European countries, the majority of those executed for sorcery in Finland was male. Of 641 people accused for sorcery in Finland, 325 were women, but of the 277 executed for witchcraft, 133 of them were men. So yes, of course.
This is actually surprising to me because most times when people talk about witches, they relate it to women. And I'm like, why are women always targeted? And so I'm really surprised to see that in Finland, back in those days, most witches that were executed were male. I'm so surprised. Wow. Like, it seems like Finland has always had women's interest at heart. Their government has always been the one that favors women. And I won't say I kind of like that. I don't want to sound so biased because I'm a woman, but then I love how they do their things. They don't go with the crowd because most people see witches as women. Just because people attach witches to women, they didn't go that path. They felt anybody could be a witch, and yes, and that's how it's supposed to be. Witches are not just women, though the term witch means a woman that does those kind of things. Yes, I know, but then you know what I mean. When people talk about witches, a woman comes to mind. And it's not supposed to be so, because men can also do all those sort of things, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I'm impressed with this, though not the torture part. Yeah, that part, no, 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 no human being deserves to be tortured that way. Yeah.
The numbers for women of being witches were, of course, still high, okay, and higher. But, like I said, there was more men than anywhere in Europe being executed and being accused.
Okay.
A reason for that, like I said, was the 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄, was the cunning folk. Alright? And the typical Finnish witch trial was that of a well-known cunning man accused by a private person of having harmed livestock or food by use of magic. Crazy times to be alive. Crazy
Honestly,
times.
such a crazy time to be alive. I never wish to be alive in such times, like crazy times. I mean, people will just look at you and say, okay, this person looks like a witch. This person seems to be a witch. Let's go and torture him or her. I mean, that's the highest act of cruelty. Like, no, 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 no. It's horrible. Horrible.
Now, they think that the first person executed for sorcery in Finland was probably Anna Olavintytär in 1526. Witch trials were not unusual in the 17th century, but they very seldom led to a death sentence, and sorcery was not by people in general referenced to the devil. Most of the people accused in Finland, like I said, were men because of these cunning folk guys. Alright, so they believed in magic and all that sort of stuff. But, and there's one thing that I actually forgot to mention, was that the 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 in most other countries, it was like the devil. The devil is in that woman, you know, that sort of a way. But in here, in Finland, it was just general magic. Now guys, the largest witch trials in Finland were those of Åland in the 1660s, and those that occurred in Ostrobothnia between 1674 and 1678, when between 157 and 200 people were charged, of which at least 41 were executed. Now the witch hunt was heavily influenced by the witch hunt being conducted in Sweden at the time, and what they were looking for, this particular witch hunt, they were looking for like pacts made with Satan. They were also looking for, you know, a lot of child witnesses came forward to have claimed to being abducted by witches. But also, I'm going to tell you guys a story that I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video, and this is going to give you an idea of the madness, the craziness that goes with being accused of being a witch. Now guys, this is the story of Henrik Mikkelsen from 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 village in the south of Finland, who claimed to have met 3 angels on several occasions. The angels had, according to his own testimony, brought him messages from God to be mediated to the leaders of the church. Thorough investigations were made by the authorities concerning Mikkelsen's medical history, as his visions were initially thought to be the result of some illness. From a Lutheran perspective, it would have been considered unlikely, but not out of the question, that angels had really visited him. It was the heavenly message, however, that caused problems and the need for alternative explanations. For Mikkelsen's angelic visitors communicated that the morals of the people needed improving. Otherwise, God would punish them by transforming all the bread in the city into stones. Examinations made by physicians showed, however, that Mikkelsen was of sound mind and body. According to several reliable witnesses, there was no record of either mental or physical illness in his past. As Mikkelsen did not move in his sleep, it was concluded that the visions of the angels could not have been caused by dreams either. After a lengthy series of hearings and examinations, the members of the court finally came to the conclusion that it must have been the devil himself who had appeared to the young boy in the guise of 3 angels. One indication of this was that the angels apparently appeared to be armed with bloodied swords in his visions. Now, a medical explanation was obviously preferred, but despite strenuous efforts to find a flaw in Mickelson's medical history, the court had to fall back on their case against him. But this just gives you an idea of how Christianity was dead serious about this. They were like, you're going to die if, you think you've seen angels in your visions. So guys, eventually the Finnish courts decided that, executing people or giving them death penalties for being accused of being a witch is a bit much. It's a little bit much. So what instead they did was a confession of sorcery was interpreted as a sign of insanity instead. Alright. And the last Finnish witch trial took place in Turku. And it's a bit of a funny story. Because the merchant daughter, Beata Putarin Tutar, hope I pronounced that right, was accused of evil magic by 20 witnesses and sentenced to death after a body search revealed a bag on her body was proof of her being a witch. Just a bag. None else. Just a bag. The execution was repealed to prison by the Court of Appeal of Turku, and she was released from prison in 1701. Once enough people accused you of being a witch, that was it for you. That was it.
And it was just their words against yours. Because I read in a book where these people that were accused of being a witch were words of children or just some random people, and then they just take their words for it, and then, oh my god, I can just imagine the innocent lives that were that were taken because they thought they were witches. My god, it's so horrible and heartbreaking. Those were crazy times. I'm glad these things are no longer practiced because no human being deserves to go through such torture. And I heard most times they torture them to confess that yes, they are witches. My God, oh, it's crazy, crazy, really crazy.
You were gone. So guys, that was the cunning folk and also the Finnish witch trials that took place here in Finland. I hope I gave it justice. I hope I done it well. From the very start of this video and even planning the video, what I wanted to do was just say it in my own words.
Yeah.
And also kind of have a bit of a laugh along the way, all that sort of stuff. Anyway guys, I'm going to go now. And thank you very much for watching this video. Please do press subscribe. Also press like and share it. And also I'd love to hear your opinions. I would love to hear your stories. If you have anything about like this sort of a thing, let me know. And guys, have a lovely week.
Well, thank you. Wow, that was an interesting video. He did justice to it. Irish in Finland, he always kills it. He's a good narrator. Like, he explained everything so well that even if you had no prior knowledge about these things, you'll be able to catch up. So he did very well. So you guys, thank you for watching. If you want to watch this video uninterrupted, head on to his channel. The link is in the description below. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.